It would appear our loot filters are getting more advanced. Hello everyone, and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we are headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, the senior developer from 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A livestream where he answers amazing questions from the community. And I have to say, this stream felt a little different, and not in a bad way. Now, Mike will normally stream for over 2 hours, a lot of times 2.5 hours, and this stream was only 1 hour because he said he had to get back to work. Now, this is just my opinion, but I'm guessing that 11th Hour Games is super busy right now. They're probably putting in overtime because they promised us 0.8.2 by the end of May. And right now we still don't have a patch preview, which means they are probably working very hard to deliver on their promise, and there is nothing wrong with that. But even in this 1 hour, we definitely got some questions answered, and we got 2 leaks, so let's check those out. As always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to support smaller channels. All right, let's jump right into this. Starting off with a request. Now, in my Discord community, somebody asked me if I could ask if they plan on doing a multiplayer stream. Obviously, every other question is, when are we getting multiplayer? What does it look like? I feel like I'm a good listener, so I asked.
A multiplayer stream would be sweet to do. I'd love to do a multiplayer stream and show you guys exactly what we've got and how it's working and all that sort of stuff. I don't think we're quite ready for it yet.
Not ready yet. Our next question is also about multiplayer. Mike, how many party members are we going to be allowed to have inside a group? Go.
Party says we don't have an exact figure for it yet. It's gonna be in the range. I'm gonna say like I'm gonna broaden the range wider than I think it's actually gonna be, just so I'm not wrong. 3 to 6, but I think it'll more likely be 4 or 5. Server authoritative, so very similar style of like Diablo 2, Path of Exile. That's the major similarities that I can point to.
I'm gonna guess 4. 4 seems like a good number. Right now, if you are a gaming studio working on a new action RPG, you are always going to be compared to the biggest and the best. And of course, right now, whether you agree or not, that is Path of Exile. The question is, in PoE, the pacing is very quick, really focused on speedruns, and in Last Epoch, it's a lot slower pace. There is higher cooldowns or longer cooldowns on movement skills. What is 11th Hour Games' plan for the overall pace of Last Epoch?
It's definitely very intentional. If anything, we'll probably like reduce the ability to like classes that have multiple movement skills, tying those in together with each other so that you can't chain them. We really want to avoid that like who's fastest multiplayer mode, where you're playing with a buddy, but they have better movement skills than you do, and you're following. Just like, ideally, we'd have that a little bit slower pace, keeping things a little bit tighter together, where the because of how like the size of the screen and how zoomed the camera is, small, or when you get to higher movement speeds, if you're like 10% slower than your friend, you're just never gonna catch up to anything. But if your movement speeds are a little bit lower, if you're 10% slower, it's really not that big of a deal. If that makes any sense.
Did you catch my little leak there? What Mike's saying is that right now the rogue is really quick. So what they want to do is they're gonna even everything out so that when multiplayer hits, everything will feel the same from a movement speed perspective, but it also means if you plan on playing multiplayer, you better make sure you do take that movement skill so you can maintain pace with your group. I have a newer build which I'm excited to revisit once we get 0.8.2. It's my Paladin Shield Throw Smiter. At least that's what I call it. And the reason why I'm excited to revisit it is because of this leak.
So this is the lightning version of Smite. And then this is the Void version of Smite for the new design that we started with Sam's stream. We were working on Smite, and then he did the Lightning and Void ones off stream. So this is what the Lightning and Void get a little bit bigger versions of these.
It looks so much cleaner. I keep saying visuals will continue to improve in this game.
There's Lightning a little bit bigger. Boom.
Ooh, I am excited about this one. Now, 11th Hour Games has already delivered an amazing, solid loot filter, but we want to take it to the next level, and it would appear they are going to deliver. Check this out.
So this is the basic rule filter that will be coming up. Sure, Joe will show that too.
He'll get to it. Just give him a second.
So this is the basic filter rule. You may notice that there's not a lot going on here, but that's a real. Just keep it clean, keep it simple, and then if you want a little more control over what you're seeing. Here we go. You can expand it out to look like this.
So you'll see that when he puts the second image up, basically he just checked the advanced options, and then it pulls up these total affix tiers.
And so what this does is this will let you pick like any number of affixes, and specifically be able to detect the combinations of them that you want on an item, and total like the sum of the affix tiers you want to appear. And what this does is it lets you sort of like get really granular on the exact combinations of affixes you want on items, but also say you want, like, I want one of these 4 prefixes and any two of these 4 prefixes and any 2 of these 4 suffixes in combination in some way. You can make one rule that's like that, or you can say I specifically want these prefixes or these suffixes. It's also smart enough to know that if you have only put 1 prefix in the list, it won't let you put the requirement, so it's an impossible item. So if you'd like put 6 prefixes and no suffixes, it won't let you put with minimum tier 20 because it's impossible to exist.
That's smart.
And it will warn you if you've made something ultra mega rare as well. So if you say like I want a T23 item, it's gonna be like, come on. It's not going to happen.
2 last things to look at, and then we are out of here. Now, this is the second leak that Mike is going to show us, and this is the new inventory screen, which looks so much cleaner. Let's dissect it.
So here is a little look at what the inventory looks like right now in our development build. So it's come along. I think you guys have seen something pretty similar to this, but this is sort of a look. Oh, there's another image. I wasn't showing you guys the right image. That's probably was confusing a lot of people. Sorry, just a sec. I'll get another filter image out that'll make this more obvious.
Before we move over to the second loot filter image that Mike is going to show us, I do want to look at this closer. So I grabbed it, and let's blow it up. Okay. So when you're looking at the new inventory menu, obviously the gear looks cleaner. It's got a new border. They put a new little background image in. And then, they've dressed up the outside. It just looks, it's a lot more presentable. But at the top here, you're going to have 3 different tabs. So you'll be able to look at all your blessings that you have unlocked. You'll obviously have your inventory, and then you'll have appearance. So they're prepping for MTX, which is fine. Put everything in the correct location, makes it easy for us to maneuver. And then down here, before we look at idols, you have your sort button, you have your gold, you have your transfer crafting items. Those will be your new switches. And then in here, you could view your crafting materials. You have your shards, you have your runes, you have your glyphs. But this is the big one, your idols. Now, right now it is 4x4, or you have 16 idol slots. And when you have it in this configuration, you're going to have 20 slots. So you will be gaining 4 different idol points. But the way you configure them is going to be very different. It will likely be a nerf to idols, at least in my opinion, unless they really dress up the smaller idols so that they are powerful enough to where you notice a difference. But ultimately, like if before if you had 4 idols that were 4 tall or 4 width, you'd be able to put 4 in. Well, now you can only have 2, because if you wanted to put 4 high, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's no other way to put in 4 or 4 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can only have 2 of the largest size idols moving forward in this system, which is fine. I mean, I think it's good for them to have more variety, because doing it this way, it'll force us to use other items, which means we have to be more creative. And then with our loot filters, we actually have to look for other sizes as well. But overall, presentation looks really, really good. I think this is going to be a huge addition to the game, especially because now you can manage your blessings as well. I really like it. Last but not least, Mike is going to show us an updated image from the advanced loot filter with affixes selected, and I'm going to allow him to take out this video. As always, Mike, we appreciate your Friday Q&A live streams. It means a lot to the community. We know you're tired. We know you've got a youngster that won't sleep at home, and you are crunching for 0.8.2. We really appreciate it. If you have not joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We're approaching 900 members, great conversations every day, especially around Last Epoch. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is in the description. I hope you all enjoyed Dev Chat Round 10. Mike, take it away.
Now, and then here's with some options selected in the new loot filter, so it might be a little bit clearer as to what's actually going on. So question here, will there be more runes with different effects on top of the current ones? There will, not for this patch. Best 40 euros ever spent. Thank you, friend. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I hope you continue to enjoy yourself. We need the actual wings on the Wings of Argentus. Yeah. Thanks, this is a big thing I hate about PvE. I'm willing to support devs, and I understand that you guys don't work for free, but such a huge part of these games for me is finding cool looking stuff. Yeah, we want people who are playing, who buy the game, they've bought the game. It's not like they're playing a free product, so that's a big difference between us and PvE, is that there is a different pricing structure. So we want people who have already given us money to enjoy what they're playing. And being looking cool is part of that for sure. The only way to get something that looks really exceptional in that core game though will be to play it and like find cool looking gear. So like the really early gear that you get at level 2, level 5, level 6 like won't be super emissive bloom glow wings with epic smoke rising, and you know, like yeah there needs to be a sense of progression in both the visuals and the functionality and the power. So there's like early stuff will still be relatively tame by comparison to late game stuff. And I think that's already visible in the gear you start out with as for example, like a mage. Compared to the best looking mage gear right now is like, there's a pretty stark contrast in how epic it is. And it's just the beginning.